Previously on Akugim WR, Toma Kamijo, Index, Elizabeth Victoria Montgomery, and Othenis learns the real truth from British Prime Minister McIntyre. But even after learning about it, they and Kaori Kinzaki are still willing to put their lives on the line for the betterment of the world. But soon after, they found out about the bombing of Academy City with Jonathan Zenoff and Bagan giving chase. The story continues as the two sides finally clash in the city of Minato. Igneze, the Catholic nuns, and Khrushchev are horrified and stunned.
My God! That madman! What was he thinking? What does this accomplish?
Is there something that we can do? Ueharu shakes her head. At this point, what can we do? Kuroko Shirai and Mikoto Misaka appears 5 yards away from them to their left. The latter immediately collapses to her knees, stressing from the pain. Her friend kneels down, still holding on to her. Hey, take it easy.
Sorry. It's hard to move with these injuries.
The middle school girls and nuns rushes over to them. The former are stunned at the sight of Misaka in the state that she is in.
My God, look at you! You shouldn't have done that! I'm still alive, aren't I? Yeah, barely.
You know we can't stay here. He's coming this way.
Where the hell are we supposed to go then?
An answer that even they cannot give. The sound of the gargoyles' engines roaring gets their attention, causing them to look up the road. The cruiser motorcycle drifts from a corner and accelerates. The driver, Toma Kamijo, hits the brakes and drifts to a stop. As it does, he takes off his helmet and looks at the girls. The Catholic nuns and Khrushchev are in one piece, and so are Saden and Ueharu. But he becomes shocked to see Misaka terribly injured. Mikoto is herself shocked to see Kamijo, let alone with both Index and Othenis.
What are you doing here? I should be asking you that. It's not safe here. Godzilla's on his way. That's the point.
What? Kamijo? Please don't tell me that you let those two demons over here. Igneze, there's been a slight change of plan.
What do you mean by that?
The group hears running footsteps. They turn around and spots New Knight and the Amaxa coming up to them.
Where have you been? Do you know how hard it is to not get blown up or stomped on? More importantly, where are the others?
Ellis materializes, carrying Orwell, the Knight Leader Marshal, and Cromwell, lets them go, then disappears. Kaori Kinzaki slams on the ground, landing on her feet, and stops herself in front of the others. She spots her master bursting through a tower and crashing on the ground 35 yards away. She steps forward but stops herself when he backflips off his back and lands on his feet. He looks up and jumps backwards once more. Jonathan Zenoff lands on his feet, swinging his flaming axe hammer Hades down, missing his brother. McIntyre lands in front of the group, still holding up his broadsword Gaia. The Saints and Sorceress joins him, forming a line, protecting the Espers and Index. Misaka looks over Francis' shoulders. Her eyes catches Zenoff standing up straight and his Hades no longer glowing. So, that's Zenoff? Yeah, it is. It is nice to meet those who I have not met properly, and it is nice to see everyone here, given the circumstances. The 125-meter kaiju Bagan lands on its feet 15 yards behind Zenoff. It growls as it stands up straight and looks down at the humans standing close to Tokyo Tower. The Espers, except for Kamijo and Index, are terrified at the sight of the beast.
What the is that? Bagan?
So she knows. Knowledge of our Lord is well and good, and yet it will not save you. Bagan inhales, then growls once more. It takes a step forward. The Sorcerers and Saints stands their ground. Kamijo and Index remains on the gargoyle. The middle schooler stands behind them. Zenoff walks forward, gripping his axe hammer as it glows white. An atomic breath flies over the humans, hitting the side of Bagan's face. An explosion erupts 1 second later, and the beast shrieks in pain. Zenoff moves his face and screams as well, catching the eye of Kamijo. The sorcerer smiles, but the girls are stunned. The 4 middle schoolers turns around to look behind them. The Parkside Tower collapses from bottom to top. A great dust of debris rises up. A giant foot plows through the smoke. Another plows through as well. Zenoff and Bagan looks, and fear takes over. The latter steps back, terrified of what it is seeing. Godzilla walks to the Akibane Bridge and stops in his tracks. He growls, puffing up his chest like a bear. He inhales, then roars directly at the kaiju in front of him. Bagin's mood turns into anger. It swings his left fist, hitting the side of the Machika tower, and roars back at him. Misaka backs up, and her back touches Kamajo's as the two stares at both kaiju. Then, Toma turns his attention to Francis.
Hey, Euclides, now's your chance!
Right. Misaka and the sorceress looks to them confused. Francis turns to Godzilla.
Raygon!
Godzilla looks down at the human screaming at him.
Wait, that's Raygon?
The British PM points to Bagin.
Mizora there. Do one more. And the other's Mizora?
Yashadi Tuda. Everyone, except for Misaka and the Amaxa, is shocked at the sight of Godzilla talking. Kamajo looks to McIntyre.
Hold on, you didn't tell me that he can talk?
You did not ask if he can.
Oh, off.
Xenop stares up at Godzilla from head to toe.
So it was not our nerves bothering us. It is Raygon. But yet, he looks different. Could he be?
A realization dawns on Jonathan. He shakes his head and takes a deep breath.
Oh my goodness.
The sorcerers and espers looks to him half smiling. I am genuinely surprised, Euclides. We both know of the prophecy that the Oracle had foretold to us, and we both did not want it to come true. But here we are,
with a descendant of your creation in this dimension.
The mood turns into shock. Every sorcerer and esper, except for Kamajo, Index, Ultinus, and Genzaki, has their eyes widened. They cannot believe what Xenop just said.
I believe the prophecy was bound to happen, regardless of what outcome you wanted. If he defeat, see he tie.
If he's going to defeat it, then he will try. Her friends and even McIntyre darts their eyes to her.
Very well. Raygon the First is dead, but Mizor will have his revenge through his descendant.
Godzilla roars at Bagin. Bagin roars back. Kamajo turns to Satan and Uiharu.
Take Index! What? Why?
Index hops off the gargoyle and runs to the two. McIntyre creates a portal.
Into the portal, quickly!
The English nun grabs the girls and runs through.
Everyone get to a safe distance!
The sorceress jumps in one direction. Kamajo takes Misaka, pulls her on the rear seat, and he drives through the portal, with McIntyre and Shirai following them. A portal appears on the Shibakoin Tower. The gargoyle, McIntyre, and Shirai exits through, and it closes. The sorceress lands on the roof beside them. They all stare at the kaiju. They both roar and run towards each other. Their footsteps creates a series of tremors, making it difficult for those who are standing. The beast clashes, creating a shockwave hitting every building and tower and the humans witnessing it. With all of his strength, Godzilla pushes Bagin, then shoves it away. It stops and swings its open left hand. He ducks and bites on the arm. He yanks on it, trying to rip it off. It swings its arm, causing him to let go. It closes its right hand and swings its fist at him. Godzilla takes the hit. Unfazed, he returns with a hard right slap to its face, clawing it in the process. Bagin steps back and shakes its head. It puffs smoke. Then, like a rhino, runs forward, lowering its head and ramming with its nose horn. Godzilla steps aside, quickly turns, swings his tail, and smacks the dragon beast in the face. He turns back, grabs it by the horns, and swings the kaiju, slamming its body against Tokyo Tower. As it crashes on the ground, Godzilla rushes over. Reaching ahead, he lifts his foot up, intending to stomp on it. Bagin fires white plasma breath, hitting his stomach, preventing him from doing so. Kamajo clenches his fist and becomes frustrated. His eyes turn to a person on the Shibuokan Tower not too far away. It is Xenop. He is holding his face and is slightly hunched over. The bruises on his face are disappearing. The boy is a bit baffled and confused. He pays attention back to the kaiju. Bagin stands back to its feet and runs forward, swinging its open right hand. Godzilla turns back, firing his atomic breath. The flames hits Bagin's face and explodes. The infamous dragon shrieks in pain. Kamajo turns back to Xenop, and he sees him clenching his face and screaming at the top of his lungs.
I see now.
Do you understand it? Yeah, I do. Godzilla rushes and bites down on Bagin's neck, shaking it like a wild predator. It slashes his neck, causing him to let go. It grabs him by the neck and throws him off his feet. He crashes through skyscrapers and gets buried underneath debris.
Is the Prime Minister?
We are near Academy City. All right, we are on our way. He looks down and shakes his head. I guess the boy will have to witness the destruction firsthand. And Montgomery is within the city once more.
Godzilla bursts from the rubble, roaring out of anger. My lord, the nun is in the flaming city in the distance. Head for it!
It darts its eyes to him, then to Academy City. It spreads its wings. Godzilla runs towards the beast, but does not catch it as it flies up in the air. It turns to the west and flies away from the area. Everyone watches as Bagan flies away. Kamajo looks to Zenoff, who is no longer on top of the tower. Watching his ancestors' enemy getting away, Godzilla furiously roars, calling it a coward for not facing him. Uncovering her ears, along with the others, the dumbfounded Misaka is left with one thing on her mind. What